only right, based off the event that transpired tonight, it's only right that I say this, and it's been a while since I've actually said this too. Damn, Dixie.
Heels World.
I'm going to be very honest. I'm someone who doesn't watch NXT on a weekly basis. I don't have the time for it. Not because I don't want to watch or anything like that. Just that, again, I have a busy schedule. And fun fact, I've also been skipping a lot of Raws and a lot of SmackDowns for what it is. And I've always said it before, and I'll say it again to a lot of people. If you really want to enjoy NXT to the best of your abilities, you're better off just watching the TakeOver shows. And that's it. But nonetheless, TakeOver San Antonio is crazy because on the podcast this past week, myself, Walter, and Chase, we were talking about this. And regarding the NXT San Antonio card, a TakeOver card, if you will, it had to be the weakest card I've ever seen. And it comes to show you the lack of star power that NXT has right now when you have mostly everyone being sent to the main roster right away. But nonetheless, this card itself, I don't want to come off like I'm shitting on it. I thought for what it was just there. By no means was this the worst TakeOver, because it really wasn't. However, I've seen better. This was just there, like I said. It kicked off with Eric Young versus Ty Dillinger, which I thought was a very good way to kick off the show. You want people to get amped up, get hyped for the show, have Ty Dillinger come out, have everyone chanting 10. Even though, to me personally, I feel like the chant's annoying as shit, but it is what it is around the point. And the match itself, I thought it was a good way to kick off the show. It told a good story. But that's pretty much what it was. Ty Dillinger, could he, get a win? Could he beat Eric Young? Could he overcome Sanity? And it made you believe that. And it was a moment where, hey, you thought he was going to win, but he didn't. And at the end, when it was all said and done, Eric Young got the win, and it made you think, what's next for Ty Dillinger? Where does he go from here? Fuck. What's next for fucking Eric Young? Where does he go from here? And there's been talks of Ty Dillinger being in the Royal Rumble. Will it happen? We'll see. There's been talks of him going in at number 10, which would be funny. At the same time, it'll be dumb if they don't do it. But again, that's WWE creative for you. Then we had Roderick Strong versus Andrade Cien Almas, which I thought was an okay match for what it was just there. Like, honestly, if this was Ring of Honor, this literally would have been the main event of their weekly television episodes. But nonetheless, for what they were given, they made the best out of it. But I didn't think anything like, oh my god, spectacular, if you will. It's crazy because every time I see Andrade Cien Almas, this fucker always loses. He's like the jobber out of all the guys that came out of the Independents or Japan, what have you. He is that one guy that says pretty much, fuck you, you're going to lose every single fucking match. Because that's what you're built for. Again, good talent. But he's always fucking losing. He's like the Solomon Crow, if you will. Remember when Solomon Crow was back on NXT, back when Sami Callihan was in developmental, losing to mostly everyone and shit? This is pretty much, Andrade Cien Almas. Like, I'll be amazed one day when he gets a fucking win. Will that ever happen? I don't fucking know. Like, on a TakeOver show, that is. I'm talking about TakeOver. I'm not talking the weekly episode. I'm sure a lot of you in the comments will say, you're wrong because he does win matches on the weekly episode. I don't give a fuck about the weekly episode. I'm talking about fucking TakeOver. You low-lay sacks of shits. And then after this, we had a run-in from Seth Rollins who tried to hijack the show, tried to call out Triple H, which I thought was cool. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was interesting. A swerve, if you will. People were hyped up. People were amped up for Seth Rollins. And with all said and done, security came out. No, Triple H came out. He was on the entrance area. He looked at Seth Rollins. There was a stare down, what have you. He leaves. He called out security. They try to escort Seth Rollins out of the building. Seth Rollins try to fight security, but he gets escorted out. You can tell where they're going here. WrestleMania, it's going to happen probably. I'm pretty sure at the Rumble coming up this Sunday or later on tonight. Right now it's 1:35 a.m. where I'm filming this right now. So I'm pretty sure later on tonight he'll have a spot or a run-in in the event itself with Triple H. There'll be something happening. Then we get to the tag team title match. Team DIY versus the Authors of Pain, which I'll be very honest, I thought this was the fucking match of the night. It's crazy because this card itself was a one-match card, that being Nakamura versus Bobby Roode. But the match that stole the show And again, for this team, 2 takeovers in a row, it's DIY versus, this case, the Authors of Pain. And again, what I liked about this match the most was the storytelling here. Could Team DIY, could Tommaso Ciampa, could Johnny Gargano, could they overcome this adversity of these two big guys that are monsters? And let's be real about it, Team DIY took a beating here, but at the same time, they fought back. And there was a moment in this match where you thought for a minute, hey, they're going to pull this shit off. They both had the Authors of Pain, their submission move, just like, in TakeOver Toronto, when they had the Revival in that double submission maneuver, and they both tapped out. And you thought for a minute, okay, the Authors of Pain will both tap out, deja vu over again. But no, it didn't happen. They, they countered it, and then they hit their finisher, and they won the tag team. But also, a good spot here was there was a double team that they did on Ciampa. And they were doing 1, 2, and just when they were going to go for 3, Ciampa kicked out. If there's any match that you should watch on this card alone, is this one right here, to be very honest. And then we get into the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's title. Asuka defending her belt against Nikki Storm versus Billie Kay versus Peyton Royce. And I'll be very honest, this to me was a very, very big disappointment. I was expecting more from this match. And again, I am someone who doesn't watch NXT on a weekly basis. And to me, I felt like Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, to be very honest with you guys, did not belong in this match. They both didn't belong. It's like if, okay, they wrestle like divas. They remind me of a poor woman's Lay Cool. And it's just one of those things that just felt like, it felt like Eva Marie was in the ring almost. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things where it's like, you wasted 2 spots on these 2 women that just did bland maneuver. Yeah, there was that double team on the table to Nikki Storm, what have you, but it was just there. You know what I mean? And it was one of those things. Also, it just felt short. It felt anticlimactic. Like, they pretty much tried to double team on Asuka, right? But she still overcomes after almost getting knocked the fuck out. It just felt off completely. I'm pretty sure, honestly, at TakeOver Orlando for WrestleMania weekend, we'll see the 3-way between Asuka versus Nikki Storm and Ember Moon. Or if not, just do Asuka versus Ember Moon or Asuka versus Nikki Storm. I don't care. But I would rather see one of those combinations than trying to attempt to add Peyton Royce or, Billie Kay. Because, again, I just didn't give a fuck about those 2. And I'm sure a lot of you down in the comments will say, how dare you say that? If you watch the weekly episodes, you will see that these 2 women are talented, what have you. I don't give a fuck, again, about the weekly episodes. What I'm saying is, like, yo, these 2 chicks didn't belong. And then we get into the main event. Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT World title. When the bell rang, it was one of those things where I said to myself, holy shit, it's Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura. If you would have told me over a year ago or so that Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura would have a match inside of a WWE ring, even if it's NXT, I probably would have laughed at you. Who would have thought this time last year, Bobby Roode was in TNA, part of Beer Money, and nothing against that. And Shinsuke was still in New Japan, he was on the way to come over to WWE, and look, a year later, wow, they're both headlining, TakeOver San Antonio, Royal Rumble weekend. The match was good for what it was. The big thing here was they were working on Nakamura's leg. Apparently Nakamura fucked up his leg in this match. He hit a Kinshasa, which I fucking hate. I hate the fact that Corey Graves calls it Kinshasa. Like, what the fuck, dude? Can we not just call it the fucking Bamaye? Seriously, to me, the Kinshasa doesn't exist. To me, it will always be the Bamaye knee. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. He hit a Bamaye knee. And apparently, Nakamura fucked up his leg. And they try to bring out trainers, doctor to see can he continue. And the big thing here at the end was all said and done. His knee gave out on him. And Bobby Roode pretty much picked off on the mess, if you will. We now have a new NXT World Champion in Bobby Roode. And honestly, I'm happy with it. I don't mind it. I'll be very honest, though. I didn't think he was going to win. It's crazy because When they brought in Bobby Roode, I always thought, okay, he would be that one guy out of all the guys that they brought in from previous promotions, what have you, to go to developmental or NXT in this case, and just go straight to the main roster without winning the NXT title. And I was wrong. I thought Nakamura tonight was going to retain the belt and what have you, but that's not the case. Now, people are wondering now, will Shinsuke Nakamura appear in the Royal Rumble match? I don't think so. At the same time, I thought as well, hey, maybe Cassius Ohno would make an appearance and, build up for the next event or the next takeover. Because you could also do a three-way between Bobby Roode, Shinsuke, and now Cassius Ohno. But nonetheless, it's very, very cool to see Bobby Roode now as the NXT champion. It's crazy because the whole damn Dixie stemmed off in TakeOver Dallas with myself, Matt from In the Robe Show, and Connor, aka OKFabe, when they showed Bobby Roode appearing at TakeOver Dallas, and we were there too. And I remember when that happened, everybody was losing their shit. And I remember I just screamed out, "Damn, Dixie," because damn, Daniel was a fucking thing. And from there, it just caught on, and it felt ironic how now, almost a year later, Bobby Roode is now the NXT champion. It's like, damn, Dixie. Overall, TakeOver San Antonio was their show. I know a lot of you out there that praise NXT to the fucking death will act like this show was fucking fire. Like, oh my god, NXT can't do no fucking wrong. And that's fine. It is what it is. I just thought it was there. Drop me a comment down below your thoughts on the show, if you enjoyed it or not. I'm sure a lot of you did, but that's just around the point. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Make sure you like all my videos. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, it's your boy Heel. Proving strong style. I'm out. Peace. Brah.